Okay, Ryan Gosling was not acting in this movie. He is Jacob Palmer. Like, he did not have to act. This is him as a real
All
person.
off script.
Yeah, all off script.
The accent and everything.
They didn't even tell him it was a movie. They just put cameras in a bar and
Told
watched
him
him
to take
hit on women.
and then told him to take his shirt off.
Yeah.
Everyone will love it if you take your shirt
6
off.
months later, he got a check, and he's like, "What's this for? You don't remember the movie we
The
shot?"
Untitled one?
Yeah. Welcome to the Rom-Com Rewind podcast.
Hi, I'm Sarah,
And I'm Devin.
and I love rewatching movies over and over again.
And I really love romantic comedies.
So this is a show where we rewatch rom-coms, break them down a bit for you, maybe take a peek behind the curtain, dig beneath the surface, and decide, does it still hold up?
Today we have
Crazy Stupid Love.
And we're now on Apple, on iTunes, so if that's how you get your podcasts, you can follow us there as well. Leave a review. We're on Spotify. Give us a follow so you don't miss out. And join us on Instagram at Romcom Rewind. We have lots of fun romantic comedy conversations there. So Crazy Stupid Love. This movie actually has two directors, Glenn Hakara and John Requa. I might have pronounced both of those wrong. But they are a directing duo. They've done Bad News Bears together. I Love You, Philip Morris. They actually wrote Jungle Book, which is yet to come out. That's the Dwayne Johnson one.
Jungle Cruise?
Oh my God, Jungle Cruise. No, they didn't write Jungle Book. No. Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, I think I saw the previews for that. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, Emily Blunt. So Crazy Stupid Love is the story of Cal Weaver, Steve Carell. He's married to Emily Weaver, Julianne Moore. And in the first few minutes, we learn Emily Weaver wants a divorce, guys, and she cheated on him with a coworker, David Lindhagen. Dun, dun, dun. Played by Kevin Bacon. So Cal learns this. He kind of spirals. You know, he lost his wife. He's not living at home. He had to move into an apartment. He ends up at this club, wallowing in his misery, where he meets Jacob Palmer, Ryan Gosling. And Jacob, who's an amazingly successful womanizer, he goes about what I would call never been kissing Cal Weaver. You know how they like take the glasses off her and pull down her hair, and they're like, "Wow, you're beautiful."
That's She's All That, is it not?
Oh, she's all thatting her. Yeah. She's all that's her. Never been kissed. Oh no, that's Drew Barrymore. Has never been kissed. Wow. And I run a rom-com podcast.
Good thing I know.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody's the expert. So he basically gets him a fitted suit, gets him to stop wearing New Balance sneakers, some nice shirts, some nice pants, teaches him how to talk to ladies, and let's try and get you laid kind of thing. There's also a side story of Cal and Emily's kids. They have a son named Robbie, played by Jonah Bobo, who's around 13 and is in love with his babysitter, Jessica Riley, played by Annalee Tipton. She, however, has a crush on Cal Weaver, the father. And Jacob Palmer also ends up in a relationship with Hannah Weaver, played by Emma Stone, which is very out of character for him. And we learn near the end, spoiler alert, Hannah is Cal's daughter. So what are your first thoughts?
So this is only the second time I've seen this movie, but I really, really like it. I like this movie a lot. What I love most, though, is that because I've only seen it once, all of the surprises throughout the movie, which Devin has already kind of, made a major spoiler alert in the first minute. I was genuinely surprised all throughout the movie. I was like, oh my God, did that just happen? Oh my God, what is happening?
You were acting like you hadn't seen it before.
I only saw it probably once when it came out initially in 2011.
Like the recognition scene where Hannah Weaver, Jacob Palmer, and Cal Weaver all meet up.
What's Nana here? Who's Nana?
Who's
What's
Nana? Yeah. You were losing it there. You're like, oh my God!
I went through a lot of emotions.
Yeah, emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, definitely.
I love this movie so much. I'm going to put it on my hierarchy of best rom-coms of all time.
Yeah,
it wasn't until I
movie.
rewatched it, too, that I'm like, this is one of my favorite, if not my favorite rom-com. And I love it so much. I think the most important thing is that we have a lot of characters with a lot of flaws, but we can't help love them despite those flaws because every character is, at the same time, so likable. Like we have Jacob Palmer, who we all know a guy like that, the douchey guy at the bar. It's like his job to bang every attractive woman he can find. And he's remarkably skilled at it because he's so good looking. Then we have Cal, the boring husband who lost some fire in his marriage. He's boring. We all know that guy. Then we have Emily, cheats on the boring husband because she loves him, but the relationship just isn't the same as it used to be. And all these people have such shitty moments, but they have so many redeeming qualities at the same time that you can't hate them for it. In fact, you find them more relatable because they do have shitty moments, but they are still likable.
Yeah.
It's real.
That's really deep. But yes, you're right. It is definitely more relatable to real life, right? It's not this fairy tale kind of story. It's pretty cool.
You know, he even says at the end that he's not sure if it's going to work out, Cal Weaver and Emily Weaver.
Yeah.
But that's life, right? Like sometimes you love somebody, but you don't necessarily always end up with them. Although I'd like to think they do still get back together.
I know, me too.
Yeah, they left that little glimmer. They left the door open where you're like,
of hope.
Nah, they got back together, right?
Yeah.
What other thoughts? A little bit of a stroke there. What other thoughts did you have?
So when he's in the bar right after Emily tells him that she wants a divorce, he orders a vodka cranberry. So I used to order those when I first started going to the bar. When I didn't know what to order at the bar because they'd never had any menus, and I wanted to look like I wasn't, just fresh into the bar, and that I knew what I was doing, kind of thing. So like I'd order like a vodka cran, only because I heard the person over beside me order a vodka cran. So I was like, oh, okay, cool.
What was the first bar you went to where somebody else was ordering a vodka cran?
No, I'm just kind of saying that's kind of
that bar.
that's like a drink that you kind of knew that wasn't too strong. It was vodka, so like I'm sure you started drinking vodka initially.
So it's funny that you say that because I did have a go-to drink. It was a whiskey sour, just because I had heard people ask for whiskey sours. I'm like, that's easy.
It is.
Makes me look like I belong.
Right. You just jumped on the bandwagon.
I want to make a comment about the first 180 seconds of this movie.
Wow. Okay.
Because it's wild. Because we have Emily telling Cal,
yeah,
in the middle of dinner, I want a divorce. We cut to their house where the babysitter, Jessica, checks in on their son, Robbie, in bed. Turns out Robbie's jacking it under the covers.
So awkward.
Wow, that's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
We jump back to the car ride home for Emily and Cal, and she reveals not only does she want a divorce, she cheated on him with David Lindhagen. Cal then jumps out of the moving vehicle, and all of those things happened within the first 2.5 minutes. I counted. Yeah. So we really set the scene and the tone of this movie very fast.
Things are happening. So, okay, sneakers and a suit. First off, a real dad move. Like, you got the dad bod, you got the dad suit, you got the dad sneakers. Pretty sure my dad has a pair of those shoes. However, Ryan Gosling's character helps him dress better, gives him a haircut, and the best advice that he's given by Ryan Gosling's character, Jacob, is be better than the Gap.
I love that.
Be better than the Gap. And then he takes his sneakers and throws them over the balcony in the mall. I was dying.
I have a story about those sneakers.
Oh my God, tell me.
When I was in high school, my mom actually bought me New Balance sneakers, and I was so embarrassed that I
You threw them over the balcony in a mall?
Ryan Gosling was there. It was wild. He's looking me up and down. You know what? I also have a comment on that scene. Ryan Gosling's the only guy who can make fucking cheese bread look good. Because if you remember that scene, Cal is walking in and we have like the full pan of Ryan Gosling. And he's sitting there, sunglasses.
Is he eating cheese bread?
He's eating cheese bread. Oh. And it looks great. And I'm like,
of course.
How? I don't understand that. Cheese bread is not an attractive meal.
It is when it's in his hands.
When it's going into that mouth.
Let's be honest.
Also, that montage. You know how I hate rom-com montages where it's like, ooh, we're going to make you look sexy, girl?
I love those, but yes.
They're
my favorite parts of movies, but anyway.
I hate them, but I actually loved this one. Feel free to tweet at me. You're a liar, Devin. But
because he keeps slapping him in the face.
Oh, that's funny. It's also just very comedic. And there's one moment where Cal is trying on new clothes, and Jacob is hitting on like the retail worker there.
Oh yes.
And he says this, and I want to know if this would work for a normal guy or if you have to be attractive to pull this off. Hey, what are you doing later? And she's like, I don't know. He says, I do.
Would it work?
Would that work on you?
Yeah.
Wait, but if a normal guy did it?
Well, I don't know what a normal guy...
I'm a normal guy.
Mean? Well, yeah, if you did it, yeah.
Well, no, that's the... Think of the most generic dude you can. If Jonah Hill did that.
It's Jonah Hill.
You don't know
I
he's
guess
funny,
so.
though.
Pretty suave and confident.
Pretty-
I
right.
think confidence and suaveness goes a long way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I could.
Okay.
Okay, so you can play a drinking game in this movie.
Oh.
So David Lindhagen's name
Mhm.
is said 19 times throughout the movie.
So you drink every time somebody says David Lynch?
Absolutely.
You know what? I think we have a side drinking game because we've already said it 5 times.
I know.
That's our own drinking game. When we say David Lindhagen, you drink. And you're already 5 deep, okay? Okay, question. If you were, say, sexually frustrated like Emily Weaver was, would you cheat on Cal, Steve Carell, for a David Lindhagen? Because Kevin Bacon, that's not a bad-looking guy. Like, he's getting up there a little bit, but I'm like, I would say you're trading up in terms of looks.
No, I think Steve Carell's better than Kevin Bacon.
Really? In
Yeah.
this movie, though?
Yeah, yeah.
Because, like, Steve Carell, when he's got the salt and pepper beard, sure.
No, for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
You think Cal Weaver is attractive in this movie?
Yes, I do. When he throws the sneakers, once he gets rid of those.
Wait,
and,
post sneakers.
yeah,
Okay.
post sneakers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we? I'm really stuck on Ryan Gosling in this movie.
I don't hate it.
We learned something very important about Ryan Gosling, or at the very least about his character, Jacob Palmer, but I'd like to think it is a Ryan Gosling characteristic.
Okay.
Ryan Gosling is that guy in the gym change room who just
Oh.
has his dick out all
I
the time.
forgot about that.
And that is,
How could I forget about that?
I know we probably don't have too many guy listeners, but much love if you are. But y'all will know there's always a dude, normally over 60, who just inexplicably has his dick out all the time.
So I have to say, I've never been in a guy's change room to get changed for the gym or anything, so
You
I don't
walk
know.
in the first 30 seconds, there's a dude who will be standing there with his dick out, and you're like, oh, there's a guy with his dick out. You will change, you'll go to the showers, you'll do like a myriad of things, you'll get back, and that guy is still...
Airing it
just-
out.
Yeah. TVs are the worst things to put in a men's gym change room because they just stand there watching golf
Take note, gyms.
naked. Yeah, with their saggy ass balls because it's always an old dude, or it turns out also Jacob Palmer.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate that.
Well,
But yes.
Ryan Gosling can get away with it, I guess.
Okay, so I don't know if you remember this, but again, shortly after Cal finds out that Emily wants a divorce, he goes into work, he's sitting at his desk, and his coworker comes to see him all sad and, asks if everything's okay,
I love
showing
this
that,
scene.
he's there and then he kind of knows what's going on and Cal goes, yeah, basically saying we're getting a divorce and, all of a sudden it's out of the, she cheated on me, whatever. And his coworker goes, oh, we all thought you had cancer. Could have, we all
He's
thought you
so
had, yeah.
smitten. He's like, oh,
He's
thank
like, oh,
God.
it's just, oh my God, it's just a divorce. Oh, well, that's nothing. And then he gets up and is leaving the office. And while he's walking away, the coworker yells, it could have been cancer.
People are giving him a round of applause, like, oh yeah, it's just a divorce,
my God.
guys.
I thought that was kind of the first big joke in the movie. I thought that was really funny. I was dying laughing.
This movie should be a PSA for bar owners. I'm gonna sound like such an old man right now.
I can't wait.
It should be a PSA for bar owners on the appropriate level music should be at a loungy type bar. Like that. Because if Ryan Gosling needed to yell any of those pickup lines over music, I feel like they wouldn't work out. You know what I mean? He was
Yeah.
suave, but he was like, I'm going to give you your space, but I'm going to be very confident. And at most bars, you need to be inside somebody's earlobe to be able to say the things he was saying. And then it's not sexy.
So I have a fact about that, actually.
Oh, tell me.
So I was going to get into it later, but I'll tell you now. So Ryan Gosling's character actually found it challenging chatting up girls in the bar scenes. And so like you were saying, he had to yell over pickup lines over the music. And they'd often start filming early, 8 a.m. And he would have to say or yell these pickup lines to women as if there were music playing. But there actually wasn't because the music was added later. And the scene was completely quiet while he was doing this. So he was literally yelling at women at 8 a.m. pickup lines. How awkward is that?
So wait. Let's play it out. It's completely silent. Ryan Gosling walks up to a woman. Hey, can I buy you a drink? Is it like that?
Yeah.
He was just yelling, but there's no music.
Yes. And so he also read books on how to pick up ladies in prep for this role.
You need a fucking book, Ryan
No, well,
Gosling.
he
Give me
doesn't,
a break.
but maybe his character in prep for the womanizer.
Wow, I'm so shocked by that fact
Yeah.
because I thought they didn't write any lines for Ryan Gosling for the first 90 minutes. I thought they just told him slap Steve Carell a lot and hit on women. That's it. And be funny about it. Because, like, everything he said, I'm like, Ryan Gosling could probably say that. You know what I mean?
So I thought overall, the writing in this movie is great, obviously. So when Jessica is babysitting for Emily Weaver, so they've already split and she's still living in the house, and Emily comes home from going on a date with David Lindhagen.
Drink.
Yeah. Emily tries to pay Jessica, and and Jessica just looks at Emily and says, like, you're batshit crazy. And then Jessica walks away saying, I don't want your slutty money.
I loved that scene.
Okay, I was dying because it's just like the subtle writing that was kind of just like the jokes or the great lines that were kind of just snuck in there that you almost miss, but if you were paying attention, you don't miss them, and you're like, oh my god, did she just say I don't want your slutty money?
And that
like,
was
what?
That was my favorite part too, was Emily Weaver's reaction where she's like fiddling with her keys. She's like,
slutty
money? Like, what?
I know, I loved it. I love that.
Oh man. Okay, so question. Hannah Weaver and her friend are having an amazing conversation at the bar right off the top. It was the would you bang Conan O'Brien conversation, and Hannah Weaver was like, oh man, I want to have his babies. Conan O'Brien, hot or not?
Not.
No. Okay. So,
I don't even know. Even her friend was like, what planet are you on? I'm sorry, but what planet are you on?
So I've got a question though. You know how there's the hot crazy scale for women? Is there something similar for guys? Is it like a funny hot scale where, like, if a guy is like scale of 1 to 10, where does Conan O'Brien fall? He's like a 3?
Yeah, I mean he's funny, so that does help him.
Right. But like hot, 3 for hot.
Oh, yeah, I would agree.
So is it like, does he have to be like an 8 or higher on the funny scale to then become bangable?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
There must be a scale like that. Like if you're a 5 looks, you can get away with being like a 6 funny because it's like you're average and you're a little bit above average funny.
I would agree.
Or vice versa. If you're like a 9 hot and like a 2 funny,
yeah, it evens out.
You'll still bang that guy.
Yep.
Question.
Okay.
The Dirty Dancing move.
Yeah.
Would that work?
No.
I haven't even finished.
No, because I'm also not a good dancer.
That would not.
So it wouldn't. Yeah, no.
So the
because I would be too self-conscious.
But you're drunk. Don't forget that. Doesn't matter. The premise is that Jacob Palmer, like Hannah Weaver, was pestering him, like, what's your big move? He's like, my big move is that I work Dirty Dancing into the conversation, and then I reveal I can do the lift, which is an iconic movie moment.
Right.
And then the classic, the girl's like, oh my god, let's do the lift. And then he does the lift, and then he more or less implies 100% kill rate at that point. Like, we're gonna bang. You're saying that wouldn't work on you?
I don't think so, because I wouldn't want to do it. First, if I'm wearing a dress, no. And again, like I said, I'm not really that good of a dancer, so I wouldn't. I would be way more self-conscious and nervous about doing it. I'm making sure that I do a good job at it than the end result.
Okay, so a normal guy couldn't pull it off. Say Ryan Gosling is like, let's do the Dirty Dancing
as
move.
a normal human, I would be very nervous. But like if
you'd do it, he'd talk you into it.
Well, yeah, I would do it. It's Ryan Gosling.
Come on. Jessica Riley. So she's the one who's obsessed with Cal Weaver in this movie. She's the babysitter. She gets some advice from a girl at high school to be like, yo, if you want this dad to take you seriously, you need to take some nude pics and send it to him. I counted about 15. She took about 15 pictures. She settled on 3. And the first couple were hilarious. Like the whole like broad smile, like, hey, and it's like you're naked. Like, obviously that's not going to look good. That looks weird. On average, though, that was 5 pics per one picture that she went with. How many pictures does it take for a girl to get one that she's like, my body looks good?
I mean, I'm no expert.
Okay.
But maybe on that scale?
5 to 1 scale.
Maybe?
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I guess. I don't know. I mean, I feel like we're gonna have people disagreeing or agreeing with this.
That's good.
But I don't know. Like I said, I'm no expert,
It's
so I don't know.
Hey, get at Romcom Rewind on Instagram and DM us. Let us know how many
Oh my God.
how many attempts at nudes does it take for it to actually work out? Is that creepy?
Yeah.
No, they're not sending us the nudes.
No, I hope not.
Ooh, don't do that. No. I'm saying they're not going to do that.
Please don't do that.
Right.
Please don't do that.
What do you got for quick facts?
I got lots. So the film was originally titled Untitled Marital Crisis Comedy. So
That's like what you do when you don't know what to title something. You're like, it's just generic rom-com.
yeah, actually. So the filmmakers offered a free iPad on set to whoever came up with the title for the movie.
What?
Yeah.
They were on set and they didn't know what the name should be.
Yeah.
So then who came up with it? Do we
I don't know.
They gave away an iPad.
Yeah, they did. Somebody has an iPad. I guess iPads are a hot commodity in 2011.
Yeah. Ooh, an iPad.
I will name a movie for an iPad. So Emma Stone, who plays Hannah or Nana, plays a character in her 20s, while Jessica's character, played by Annalee Tipton, is 17 in the movie.
Right.
However, in real life, the actors are actually only 3 days apart.
3 days apart.
In age.
Wait, so how old were they?
Emma Stone and Annalee Tipton would have been 22.
Okay. I would have put Emma Stone's character at like a mid-20s.
Yeah, I know. I actually thought she was older.
And Annalee Tipton.
Mm-hmm.
It's those giant Bambi eyes.
So she became famous after coming third on season 11 of America's Next Top Model.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew I recognized her. I used to love America's Next Top Model. I used to watch all the seasons. Ryan Gosling said that when Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling were at his house and he took off his shirt in the movie, that the filmmakers used Photoshop to perfect his abs in the movie, even though
They make the joke.
yeah, and that's part of it too. And he actually put in a lot of work and he worked out quite a bit for the role leading up to the filming.
Oh, see, I would almost get that as a slap in the face. Like, I'm going to work out so hard, and the director's like, nah, we're still going to Photoshop your abs, though. Like, really? What I did isn't good enough?
I mean, they were really nice. So this is cool. So the Dirty Dancing lift, like you were talking about a few minutes ago, wasn't actually in the script.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Ryan, who has dance training, came up with the idea, and they added it into the script.
Oh, my God. You know what that means?
What?
That means he's actually fucking done it in real life. You don't just randomly say, like, you know what, guys, I could do the Dirty Dancing lift here.
So he has.
What? Yeah, he 100% has.
Yeah. So I read that in an article.
Wait, he admitted that he's done that?
Yes.
Oh,
that was kind of part of the conversation about how, like, he came up with the idea.
Here we go, Ryan
Yeah.
Gosling.
Yeah. So another cool...
Okay, Ryan Gosling was not acting in this movie. He is Jacob Palmer. Like, he did not have to act. This is him as a real
all
person.
off script.
Yeah, all off script.
The accent and everything.
They didn't even tell him it was a movie. They just put cameras in a bar and
Told
watched
him
him
to take
hit on women.
And then told him to take his shirt off.
Yeah.
Everyone will love it if you take your shirt
6
off.
months later, he got a check, and he's like, what's this for? Like, you don't remember the movie we
The
shot?
Untitled one?
Yeah. I was just hitting on women. I don't like. That was a movie we did. Oh my.
So Gosling and Stone have natural chemistry, obviously, in this movie. So for the scene where Nana, and Jacob lie in the bed all night talking,
So cute.
they actually threw away the script. They gave Stone and Gosling some drinks and let them improvise the entire thing. So, like you said, I don't know when he really did follow the script.
I have a question about that because
Okay.
he makes a comment about like infomercials, how he would buy like all that infomercial shit.
Oh yeah,
And it's funny because he mentions the knife that can.
the knife that can cut through the penny.
I almost worked for that company.
Stop.
Yeah, I'm gonna bleep it out.
Okay.
And in college, there were like, you know how there are those things where it's just like the pamphlets that are like, make $400 in a day, great for
Mhm.
students. And I really needed money. So I like
student.
I like emailed them or whatever, and they're like, yeah, come by our office on this day. And then I got in there and I realized I'm going to be selling knives door to door. And I'm like, oh,
No.
I don't want to do this. But I had left my sunglasses in a different room, so I had to like wait through the entire presentation until we took a break. It was like an hour and a half long.
Oh no.
And he did. He showed us. He's like, here's how you cut the penny, guys. And he like thought it was the coolest thing. He's like, yo, check this shit out.
You were an expert.
People eat this up. And he cut the penny.
So it actually does work?
Oh, yeah, it does.
Wow.
You do need like proper leverage in the right area, but yeah, you can cut a penny
Interesting.
with that knife.
So the screenwriter, Dan Fogelman, based the film on his own experiences of being a single man in his 30s. So when he wrote the script, he actually did have Steve Carell in mind for the lead role.
He is kind of perfect.
Yeah. I don't know if you know. So like I said, they had really, really good chemistry. But Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling have actually played a couple in 3 films.
La La Land.
Yes. I was going to say, can you name them?
La La Land.
Yeah.
Crazy Stupid Love.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a gangster thing. I can't remember the name.
Yes. Oh my God, you're good. Gangster Squad.
Here we go.
Yeah, that was good.
I love Emma Stone so much.
Yes. Well, I love Ryan Gosling. So,
It's not a competition.
So I have one last one, which I think you will find very enjoyable.
Okay.
We're both big fans of the TV show The Office. The nameplate on Emily Weaver's desk says her name and associate to the vice president.
No.
Not associate vice president. So this is...
She's the assistant regional manager.
Okay, so this is undoubtedly a reference. So this was a running joke, for those of you who don't know The Office, about one of the characters, Dwight Schrute, and saying how he is the assistant to the regional manager and not the assistant regional manager.
Right. He would say he's the assistant regional manager, and somebody would always correct him.
Always correct him.
Assistant to the regional manager.
Yeah, so I thought you'd like that one.
That is great. I like that a lot. We're on to best scenes.
We are.
The recognition scene where Cal realizes...
fight scene.
Yeah. You call it the fight scene. I call it the recognition scene.
Okay.
Where Cal realizes that Jacob is dating Nana, a.k.a. Hannah Weaver. Meanwhile, Bernie, Jessica's dad, has found the nudes meant for Cal. He arrives trying to fight Cal, and David fucking Lindhagen, take a drink, shows up. It was beautiful chaos. I really like how Jacob kept trying to protect Cal during it. Did you notice that? Like, Bernie jumped on Cal, and Jacob grabbed him. He caught a punch for it. And then David Lindhagen, take a drink, he arrives, and Jacob immediately punches him in the face.
This is one of my favorite scenes. Nana walks in the door, and then I'm like, oh, wait, what's she doing here?
Yeah, right. You didn't remember it.
No, I didn't at all. And then Ryan Gosling comes in, and I'm like, oh, what? And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. I get it now. I'm like, no, no way. And so then you find out that Cal and Emily's first child is Nana Weaver.
Yeah.
And they had her when they were 17. And then Cal goes into saying, you know, Jacob, you need to break up with Nana. And then Nana says, no, please, Daddy. And then Jacob says, no, don't say that. And then everything goes to shit. But then in the middle of everything, Emily asks, is this some sort of skit? Because I'm lost. And I was like, oh my God. Good break, right? Good break in the comedy, like, craziness.
Yeah. I also love the addition of David Lindhagen, take a drink, because I didn't realize until it happened, for the entirety of the movie, Jacob, Bernie, Cal, none of them physically see David Lindhagen. They just hear about him incessantly.
Right.
Which is why the moment where Jacob Palmer is like, That's David Lindhagen. He's like, yeah, that's David Lindhagen. And even Bernie is like, that's okay. All right. It's like this recognition of like, oh, it's this guy.
Yeah.
Got it.
Let me go punch him in the face.
And that poor guy was just dropping off like a shawl. I feel for David Lindhagen in this. Take a drink.
The parent-teacher interviews, you know, just a little quick backstory. Cal does sleep with Kate, the teacher, but doesn't know that she is Robbie's teacher. And, you know, the whole recognition scene of that is absolutely hilarious. And Emily's like totally out to lunch again. All of these scenes, she's totally out to lunch. She has no idea what's going on. She's missed everything. She's like, did I miss last year's parent-teacher interviews?
Emily Weaver is in a constant state of
Of
bewilderment.
lost.
She's just, what is happening?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that one was really funny. Kate obviously knows Cal, and Cal obviously knows Kate, but they're trying to. Well, he's trying to hide it
He's
from
trying
Emily,
to brush it under the rug.
and it's just very, very awkward to watch. But it's really funny.
So I'll do my honorable mention now because Marissa Tomei as Kate is my honorable mention one of my honorable mentions for that scene because she plays the jilted ex-lover so well. And I also want to reference the accuracy of Cal's scene immediately following having sex with Kate, where he suddenly has his swagger back, he's at the bar, he's picking up ladies. Guy's got his mojo back, and that is extremely accurate for a guy. Like, if you have really good sex, you wake up the next morning, and it's just the world is a brighter place. People are, like, giving you the head nod. Like, inexplicably, they know. They're like, that guy's got something going on. You give them the nod back, like, I do have something going on. Last night, it all happened.
So another funny part about that specific scene was when Cal yells to everyone that she's an alcoholic.
Ooh.
I was like, oh, well, you didn't need to do that. But he was feeling so awkward the entire time.
Honorable mentions.
So I have one honorable mention.
Okay.
David Lindhagen, Drink.
I've got him as one as well.
So even though, yeah, he seems like a really nice guy who, yes, broke up somebody's marriage, which I understand obviously why everyone hates him throughout the movie. But everything else about him seems nice.
He was sorry about it, and he said that.
But then he kept pursuing her to date her.
Yeah, but they're split.
Yeah, that's true.
So, you would
Yeah.
keep. Like, on the date, he's charming. He's
Yeah.
nice. He tries to connect with the son, Robbie. He does say, the first time we see him, he's like, hey, I didn't mean to break up your marriage. I'm sorry that happened, but I can't stop thinking about you. Which is, like, not the best thing to say, but it's not the worst. He's not an asshole, you know?
Yeah.
My only other honorable mention is Molly Weaver, who I don't even know if she has lines. The youngest daughter.
Oh, Joey King.
Joey King.
Played by Joey King.
Criminally underused in this movie, I think, because after doing a little bit of digging, I realized that's the chick from the kissing booth.
Yes. You don't
What?
you don't actually see her face until the last third of the movie.
It's just a ball of hair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually. And or like she's always kind of like blocked in the scenes, but you will notice in the movie Robbie pulls out his phone to I think text Jessica, and there is a contact in there that says Joey K, and it is Joey King.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mhm.
Wow, what a catch.
Yeah.
Is that a quick fact?
It is. Well, I mean, it's a later fact.
It's the what should have beens?
So I have one what should have been, and I want to know what you think of it.
Okay.
So Kate, teacher Kate,
Yeah.
should have ended up with Owen Wilson from The Wedding Crashers.
Ooh. So he does end up with Rachel McAdams,
Yes.
but I could see it.
I think
Well,
it could work.
I mean, she's got some fire.
Yes.
And
She's a little bit needy.
She's
you
a little
know,
bit needy.
you know.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I think Owen Wilson
Like-
could tame that fire.
Yeah, like I think she definitely wants somebody to date.
Oh yeah,
You
she's
know?
in it for a relation. Well, she was
Yeah.
upset that Cal didn't call her back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Robbie and Jessica abso-fucking-lutely end up together.
What?
Oh yeah.
I think at the end you kind of like you're like, oh, okay, you know what? Maybe
Wait, do
in
you
a
not
few
think
years.
they get together?
Robbie and Jessica?
Yes.
I mean, I don't think they get together right now.
No.
But in the future,
No.
yeah.
That was the purest love story. They end on, like you say, like hey, it could happen. So I like to imagine here's how it all goes down. She goes off to college, graduates, starts her career. He eventually goes off to college as well, becomes a little bit of a player, but the whole time in the back of his mind, he knows these are just practice rounds
Yeah, because he still has her pictures.
until Jessica. He's like, I'm playing exhibition games here. It's fine. We're not in the playoffs yet. So then later on, it's, Thanksgiving or it's Easter. It's some event where, they're going to be back in their hometowns again. He's going to be like 21. She's, what's the age difference? 26 then?
4 years.
25. Totally doable, right? And then all of a sudden, she sees Robbie Weaver as like whoa, dude's got some confidence. He's clearly
Well,
been
he
having
definitely
fun.
had confidence.
Oh, yeah, he always had confidence. It was just a little bit misplaced. It wasn't as refined. I think that's how it all goes down, because I actually had a scenario similar to this.
Okay, I can get on board with that.
It was a friend's older sister. Kind of had a crush on her. It wasn't love, absolutely not love, not like these two. But it was kind of like she had that unattainable status of like, well, that's so and so's older sister. Years later, I'm in college, St. Patty's Day, downtown. See her at the bar, and she gives me like the quick up and down, like a whoa, Dev kind of grew up, and I caught it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then I was like, we were chatting, and I immediately took a swing. I was like, hey, you know what? We should get out of here. She turned me down.
Oh.
For 24 hours. And then she texted me the next day and was like, you know what? You were right. And I'm like, oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Oh my God.
And then it ended up being a one-time thing.
Wow.
But I think there is that, like, those people from your childhood, and when you meet them, like, 10 years later, and all of a sudden they're a grown-up, and you're like, whoa, like, you have a career? Like, that's so weird. Wow, like, you're good-looking?
You're an adult?
You're an adult who's actually moderately attractive. You kind of forget all that childhood shit, and you're like, this can happen, right? Yes. Answer yes. Robbie, you can do it.
You're living proof.
It wasn't love, but Robbie can do it. If I could do that, Robbie can do this.
I like it. That's funny. Thirst factor.
Oh my God, thirst factor.
Ryan Gosling, obviously a 10. Need I say more? Love him.
Like a full 10 out of 10?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Emma Stone.
9.
Okay, yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
She's pretty close to perfect. Actually, I'd put her at a 9.5.
Yeah,
I just
you
think
really
she's
like
so
her.
adorable.
So what do you have Ryan Gosling at?
I mean...
10. What? Sorry, I didn't... Yeah.
Ryan Gosling. Yeah, I mean, he's the whole package, right? The thing with Ryan Gosling in this movie, I feel like he elevates any movie he's in.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
And like I said off the top, like, I can't help but root for him. Like, there are times where he's a bit of an asshole, and I'm like, but like, I still want him to bang the chick. Yeah. He's like being a little bit of a douche, but I'm like, you can do it. Like, I trust you, man. Like, come on, let's do it. So yeah, I mean, as close to a 10 as you can get, I would say.
Okay.
The wild card is Cal Weaver.
Okay, Steve Carell. I have him at an 8. I told you he's really cute in this movie.
What?
Yes.
You've been remarkably critical of other men in rom-coms. Like, we just did Sam
He does a
Claflin
major
from...
turnaround, you know? He is better than The Gap.
He became better than The Gap.
Better than The Gap. I mean, you have to think about it. Like, he went from suit and sneakers to, like, a suit that actually fit him, a really nice hairstyle, and, like...
He barely changed his hairstyle.
No, he did change it. It was very much like stick a bowl on your head and cut around it.
It's such a woman thing. Like, no, I can see that it's different.
Maybe he styled it differently. Anyway.
Cal Weaver as an 8. Get the fuck out.
Okay, what did you put him at?
I mean, I'd put him at like a 6.
Okay.
Considering we put like Sam Claflin from Love, Wedding, Repeat as like a 6.
No, I think I put him at a 7.
Yeah, Cal Weaver is not more attractive than him.
Okay, fine, a 7.
I'm dragging you down. I'm pulling you down. Can we get it down to a 6?
No.
No, okay. Julianne Moore.
7.
Yeah, I put her at like an 8.
Okay.
I got a thing for her. She's, even if I'm not wearing makeup and my hair is kind of frazzled, I still look pretty attractive. Like, she's really, and she's kind of class.
Yeah, she doesn't wear a ton of makeup.
She has some class that it's like, you can't mimic it. Is that all the thirst factors?
Yeah. Oh, unless you want to do Kevin Bacon.
David Lindhagen?
Drink.
Is he? I would put him higher than Cal Weaver.
No, I wouldn't.
He's more attractive than Cal Weaver.
I don't think so.
Come on.
People can totally disagree with me, but I don't think so.
Kevin Bacon.
No.
Or Steve Carell.
Steve Carell.
He brought dance back to that town.
Oh my God, Footloose.
It was a town that didn't know how to dance until Kevin Bacon arrived.
Oh my God, I'm dying.
And now we have a new segment that we're going to call the Slide into the DMs. We encourage you to reach out on Instagram, fire us a DM, slide on in there. If you have any generic romantic comedy questions or conversations that you want to have, we do have some in the backlog that we want to get to, and we will get to those. But there was something that happened on Twitter a few weekends ago. Somebody tweeted, name a better rom-com duo than Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston. And immediately it blew up because...
Obviously,
that's not accurate.
Yeah, correct.
What? Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston? So who would you put as the pinnacle rom-com duo?
Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore.
You're saying that's
100%.
That's not even the best Adam Sandler duo they brought up.
No, like Drew Barrymore and Adam
50
Sandler.
First Dates is classic.
50 First Dates, The Wedding Singer.
Oh, The Wedding Singer. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Oh, The Wedding Singer.
Like, they do so many great movies together.
Oh.
Their chemistry is just so good.
Oh, actually, shout out to our friend Andrew Moss on Twitter. He said Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan are the all-time pinnacle rom-com couple, comma, that's science.
I actually agree with that too. That those are a good duo.
Well, because they did Sleepless
they
in
are a good
Seattle
duo.
and You've Got Mail.
Yeah,
That's a pretty big...
those are strong.
Although I brought that up on this podcast because I would have Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone as my number one. They've done 3 movies now. I mean, in this movie, I love them so much. La La Land,
They're kind of like the modern rom-com duo now.
And there might be people listening wondering, what about Rachel McAdams and Ryan Gosling?
Oh
I know,
my
I know.
gosh, yes.
Hey, no. Don't listen to those people, okay?
What? I think they had great chemistry.
They did. They did. But I'd go Emma Stone over Rachel McAdams.
No, I wouldn't.
Really?
Yeah. Like The Notebook was just
is
so
yeah.
so weepy and powerful.
It's just so beautiful.
Oh my god, like you have a box of tissues beside you when you're watching that one. I do think Rachel McAdams and Ryan Gosling though.
And then Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore, number one.
They did good rom-coms together. Like I think the other ones are like romantic movies.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah,
like
they had
Adam
more
Sandler
comedy
and Drew
in there.
Barrymore did really good romantic comedies
Yeah.
together.
I would agree with that. Although I think Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling.
Yes. I agree. They're up there. They're up there.
The rewatchability.
9.
Yeah, I'd put it at a 10. I don't mean to like one up you.
A 9 or even 9.5. Yeah, I'm in between for
But
sure.
I think like even of the movies we've done so far, and this might be an unpopular opinion, I think this movie's even better than My Best Friend's Wedding, which I would put as the pinnacle of movies we've done.
Mm-hmm.
I love this movie. It might be my favorite romantic comedy. Steve Carell, Julianne Moore, Emma Stone, Ryan Gosling. It's just this crowd of amazing. Even Marissa Tomei as and Kevin Bacon as side characters.
Can't forget him.
David
Lindhagen.
That's 2 drinks. It just has everything. It has the comedy. It has, there are really sad moments, but moments that are like that real kind of sad. You know,
pulls at your heartstrings because it is relatable, right? Like you said before.
It's such a sad topic, but it really is a topic that we're unfortunately familiar with. So seeing that process done in such a beautiful way, I love this movie. And the way they end it with that song, Middle East Blood, woo! Robbie
Very passionate.
staring at the
this.
camera as his mom and dad are chatting. Jacob,
Yeah, that was really cute.
yeah. And this has been the Rom-Com Rewind podcast. Make sure if you're listening to this on Spotify or iTunes, leave a review. Make sure you follow us or subscribe so you don't miss anything. Follow us on Instagram at Rom-Com Rewinds. That's our Rom-Com Rewind of Crazy Stupid Love.
Thanks for listening.